Have you ever heard of anyone using ideas of heaven or hell as a threat to gain someone's compliance? Did anyone ever do this to you? In Sunday school, I heard the nuns say things like, if you think bad thoughts, you'll go straight to hell. Only good girls get into heaven. And you are a bad, bad child. You will surely rot in hell. In the fear-based right-wrong reality, it's quite common to hear stories of parents or people in positions of religious authority making all sorts of irrational claims of punishment and reward in order to maintain the illusion of control. You may have heard things like, you can't go to heaven if you blank, fill in the blank. Don't go to church, aren't baptized, get divorced, aren't circumcised, are female, aren't Christian, aren't a virgin on your wedding night, etc., etc. Or the opposite. All of the blanks will burn in hell. Fill in the blank with race, religion, sexual orientation, nationality, political affiliation, or whatever else you can think up. These are all examples of fear-based power and have no basis in truth. As a child, hearing things like that used to make me so mad. I knew in my heart that what I was hearing wasn't true. Yet there was definitely a part of me that still bought into the idea that because I didn't like going to church and didn't believe what the grown-ups were saying, that I must be really bad. There was one part of the Catholic Mass that practically burned a hole in my brain that went, Lord, I know I'm not worthy to receive you, blah, blah, blah. I didn't used to repeat those words aloud along with the rest of the congregation, yet hearing them spoken by such a large crowd every Sunday, week after week after week, for years, made a strong impression on my consciousness. By the time I was a teenager, I felt like the lowliest of worms. I judged myself as a bad, horrible, rotten, no good, worthless piece of dirt. Then I awakened, and I experienced heaven firsthand, and I learned the truth that we are all intrinsically worthy. We are all innocent and innately good. There are no exceptions to this. When I came back into my body after my initial enlightening experience, I still had all of my old feelings of lack of worth, shame, doubt, self-loathing. They were all yanking me down into the suffering again. But I had had a taste of heaven. And there was a part of me that was willing to do anything to be able to feel that love again. Over a period of time, I realized that it was my own self-judgment that was standing in the way of my internal freedom. That in order to get back to that blissful state of inner heaven, I first needed to drop all of the againstness I was holding towards myself so that I could begin to feel my own worthiness in order to reside in this love of that state of being. In what ways are you holding in againstness toward yourself? Do you judge yourself as bad, unworthy, unacceptable, incapable, not good enough, stupid, lazy, or anything else? Be willing to look deeply at how you view yourself. The truth is that you are beautiful. You are a divine being, innately worthy, fully acceptable, and infinitely loving. You're a being of light. And that residing in this state known as heaven is your natural state of being. It's your birthright. Most importantly, the state known as heaven includes residing in a state of innocence. In order to experience heaven on earth, you first need to let go of all shame, blame, againstness, guilt, self-judgment, coming back into the innocence of a child. Knowing that each of us is simply learning and growing as a soul in a body. Getting into this state of innocence requires dropping all againstness toward yourself, all others, and all things. For today, I encourage you to begin the process of dropping anything that you've been holding against yourself. Any blame, any shame, any punishment, guilt, self-hatred, or judgmental labels such as bad, unworthy, unacceptable, or whatever else you've been used to falsely describing yourself. Free yourself up. Begin to see yourself as innocent as a young child. Say, I am an innocent child of the universe, just learning and growing. Action step. Let go of any old, outdated beliefs of whatever dogmatic messages you may have heard as a child and claim your innocence. Declaration. I am an innocent child of the universe. I've always just been learning and growing. I am worthy and deserving of residing in the peace, joy, and unity of the loving. The state of being known as heaven is my natural state of being. Breathe that in. Many blessings of joy and vibrant freedom.